Our other big story, the NYPD detective shot and wounded while trying to stop a carjacking in Queens.
This detective is now recovering, but he was shot by another officer, a case of friendly fire.
And police say that suspect, a four-time convicted felon, tried to carjack people 2 other times this morning, including at a gas station, as seen in this video. Police also believe he is the same man who stole a taxi last night and hit a 27-year-old bicyclist.
And on top of all of that, the suspect was arrested yesterday for a different crime. Still, he was walking the streets today, bringing bail reform back into the spotlight.
Eyewitness News reporter Marcus Solis digs deeper into this issue, but we begin with Josh Einiger. He has more on today's incident. Josh?
Yeah, Shadi, this was such a chaotic scene. All started, police say, when this guy was walking around at a time and a place when he shouldn't have been allowed to be. Crime scene continues to have a major presence here on this block. They're going through this block that's strewn with bullets. You know, police rushed here this morning to a report of a carjacking at gunpoint. Moments later, 3 cops had fired 16 bullets at a man they later learned actually was not armed. But 2 of those bullets did strike a fellow cop. When it was over, detectives were left to make sense of the pandemonium in this leafy neighborhood of Whitestone, a bullet hole in this unmarked police minivan, and a New York City detective in surgery after being shot twice by fellow cops.
I was in bed, and then I hear a guy screaming.
It started just before 9 this morning with the carjacking of this Uber driver along the side of the Whitestone Expressway service road.
Someone took his car, and he had a weapon. He had a weapon, apparently.
He called 911, and cops from the nearby 109 precinct raced to the scene, along with a team of undercover narcotics detectives who just happened to be driving by.
Detectives assigned to Queens South Narcotics see the patrol officers attempting to make the apprehension and try to assist by blocking the car in.
A minute later, I hear something that sounds like gunshots, but it's something long, something sophisticated sounding. 3
of the officers had opened fire, hitting one of the detectives in the hand and leg. And in the minutes before the madness, police say the suspect, 28-year-old career criminal Kevin Dubuisson, had attempted 2 other carjackings, including here at a mobile gas station around the corner. You could see his hand in his pocket as if he had a gun, a camera recording as he jumped into one car only to be chased out by workers, and then he found another car whose engine was running and tried to steal it. This mechanic dove through the window to grab the keys.
So he raised the window, so the glass was up to here, my head like this. You know what I'm saying?
Walked off and attempted another carjacking of a woman nearby before, minutes later, came across that Uber driver, kicking off the chaos that ended in the friendly fire shooting of one of New York's finest.
But I want to be clear, regardless of who shot our detective, there's one person responsible for starting the chain of events that landed us in the hospital today.
Be that as it may, police are trying to get to the bottom of what led those patrol officers to open fire in the first place. What was the threat they perceived? They were standing kind of right around here. The narcotics detectives were on the other side of the 2 vehicles, and they actually did not open fire. It was only the patrol cops, 3 of them from the 109 precinct. The suspect, by the way, was not hurt. He's being questioned right now, and the detective who was hit has 12 years on the job. He took a gunshot to the hand and one to the leg. Fortunately, his injuries are not life-threatening, and he is expected to recover. We're live in Whitestone, Queens. Josh Einiger, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
At least the positive news tonight, Josh. Thank you.
Well, our coverage continues now with Eyewitness News reporter Marcus Solis live in Jamaica. Marcus?
And Shanae, as you've been hearing, the suspect at the heart of this all has a long criminal history. He was just released from prison in March and is currently on parole, but authorities say the criminal activity has only continued.
This is a man who should have been behind bars, not on our streets.
That was the message driven home by city officials after visiting with the injured detective at Jamaica Hospital. Furious that a 28-year-old with a long criminal history was arrested yesterday only to be released with a desk appearance ticket despite being on parole.
This is a definition, I believe, of insanity. Arresting the same people over and over again and expecting different results.
28-year-old Kevin Dubuisson has at least 10 arrests with 4 convictions for knife-point robberies and assaulting police officers. He was released from prison in March and is on parole. Last night, after receiving a summons for allegedly jumping a turnstile, police say he jumped into an idling yellow cab and drove it for a block before hitting a bicyclist. He allegedly fled on foot and stole another car from a garage. Today, surveillance cameras captured him at a gas station in Queens where workers say he tried to steal a car. He was run off and tried to carjack a woman 2 minutes later, followed by the incident along the Whitestone Expressway.
It's about time Albany gets together, the Assembly and the Senate, with the governor, and start working on this. Get this fixed. It needs to be fixed.
And all the mayoral candidates jumping in, chiming in on the politics of the bail reform laws as well. Here at Jamaica Hospital, though, the overriding sentiment relief that detective is expected to make a full recovery. We're live in Jamaica. Marcus Solis, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Marcus.